Ayo, welcome in to CHGO Bets, CHGO Big Ten After Dark, powered by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app today and use promo code CHGO and you sign up. I never know how to read that title screen. It's CHGO Bets presenting CHGO Big Ten After Dark, powered by DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. I'm the host of CHGO Big Ten After Dark, presented by CHGO Bets. That's Cody Delmendo. You can follow him on Twitter at Cody_CHGO. Usually joined by Greg Braggs, but he is out at the NFL Combine. Got a short little After Dark for you because we got the Bulls coming up at 6 p.m., Joe? 6 p.m. for pregame against the Raptors.
6 p.m.
Got a little bit of chat here, Cody. I've been waiting to broach this topic with you. I know it's very
Do we have to?
A sore subject. Yeah, we have to because there's no Greg Braggs to bail you out because they lost to Indiana. Ohio State.
That's why he's not here, because he doesn't want to talk about
because he's a chicken. So We'll call out Greg Braggs. Go follow Greg Braggs on Twitter, GBraggs Jr. 23, and go say Sean and Cody call you a chicken. We think that you are a chicken for not showing up because Purdue lost to Indiana twice this year, the real basketball school in Indiana. But Cody, unfortunately, I have to ask you about the real basketball school in Illinois.
Ugh.
Losing to Ohio State?
Yeah, that's tough.
By 12?
The biggest letdown
By
of the
12?
year. Yeah. Now, I'm glad we didn't do this show on Sunday, because I would have been a lot more angrier. There's like no excuse to lose that game. It was just an all around bad loss. Illinois had they were, because of IU beating Purdue, they were given the opportunity to perhaps tie for the Big Ten regular season championship, like get a share of it. They were given the opportunity, and they said, "Nah, we don't want it." So I was already, done with it. I had moved on from it going into that game. I didn't think it was ever going to have a chance to happen. They're just an inconsistent team, dude. That's just what it is. To make that comeback, the 18-point comeback against Northwestern on your home floor, and then go to Ohio State, a team that had lost 13 of their last 14 games or something like that, a team that it was clear they're in a rebuild year.
Right.
That's pretty bad. I mean, I would say that loss was worse than the two losses against Penn State, because at least Penn State is a bubble team. It's unbelievable that this team once beat Texas and once beat UCLA. Is what it is.
But you're still going to be able to get to the dance. I mean, that's going to be the topic today. Like, it is shocking that you beat Texas and UCLA, but, it's the basement right now.
Ohio State, yeah, they're down this year. Ohio State's basketball program is actually, decent. They were a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament a few years ago.
They were 9th in KenPom just earlier this year.
Yeah, they actually weren't that bad in the non-conference. But, yeah, they really fell off in conference. So they are, as far as, historically, their program isn't bad. It's not like their football program, but, it's not a bad basketball program. But, yeah, it was a bad loss, and it is what it is. And, now they got to face Michigan on Thursday, and then they go to Purdue over the weekend. And, they did this to themselves, because I thought that game against Ohio State was a must-win, because then you can afford to lose one of these two games against Michigan or Purdue. And I know they get Michigan at home, and Michigan is a very, they're just like Illinois. They're just as inconsistent as Illinois is. They've beat good teams. They've also lost to bad teams too. So it'll be an interesting game. But, yeah.
Well, I was just about to bring the king of the sandwich up in our chat. Gary's hanging out with us, and, of course, he's already making a sandwich bet. Gary trying to go out there, getting his tuna sub from Subway, saying Purdue won't get out of round 32. Sandwich bet, anyone? You taking them? Taking them up? Their matchups would be Purdue versus Youngstown State, and then this is according to Field of 68's bracketology, and then either Providence or Missouri.
I think Providence could play well against Purdue.
Youngstown State's feisty.
They are. Yeah.
They're a pretty good team.
For a mid-major, yeah, they're pretty good. I was just talking to Herb, your guy from CHGO White Sox, because he's an Illini fan too. I was talking to him earlier about, teams that have success in March or in the NCAA tournament. And most of those teams usually have really good guard play and are athletic and versatile. Have for example, for Illinois, Coleman Hawkins is someone like that. Like, he's a stretch four who can dribble the ball and can score, but can also like pass as well. Has he played up to the level to where I could believe that he could be a huge difference maker in making and getting Illinois to the Sweet 16? No, of course not. The team as a whole just hasn't played one up. But they have, like, as bad as it or not as bad, but as annoying and as frustrating as that team has been, Illinois does have a roster, like, it's in terms of like the type of players that you need to win in the NCAA tournament. They have those types of players that you never know. All they got to do is win 2 games and they're in the Sweet 16. But but when to go into your question about Purdue, in my opinion, they rely so much on Zach Edey, and their guards are all they're all freshmen, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I believe they're all freshmen. And we've seen them in this recent stretch where their guards have folded down the stretch in big moments. Now, they flat out just lost against IU over the weekend, which was probably the biggest surprise from the weekend, honestly. But so if you're asking me, do I think Purdue can go to the second weekend? Right now, no, I don't. Just because, just like last year, they're fading at the end of the year. Last year's team, so like the type of players they had in their team last year were more likely to do better than this year's team. This team was not this team was picked to finish like 10th or for something like that. They were huge dogs to win the Big Ten. Like, if you bet Purdue to win the Big Ten this year, like, congrats, you got your lottery ticket for the year. Like, they have having the National Player of the Year on their team is good and will help them. But as a fan who watched a team last year that their entire offense was based off a big man that was bigger than most guys in college basketball, it didn't make a difference in March.
Well, and do you know what? In the East region, Purdue number 1. Do you know who this 2 seed is?
Are we talking about for the Big Ten tournament?
No, for the NCAA tournament. This is the Field of 68's bracketology. But
they still have Purdue as a 1 seed?
They got Purdue as a 1 seed, Kansas as a 1 seed, Houston as a 1 seed, and Alabama as a 1 seed. Do you know who they have as the 2 seed in Purdue's bracket?
Who?
Your Arizona Wildcats. No. Joey. Hook horns down.
Where's Texas?
Wildcats?
Texas is a 2 seed.
That's right, so it's not that crazy.
Well, but it's the Midwest region against Houston. I just pointed out because, if you're not that high on Purdue, you've been high all year on Arizona. You've been talking about how they can win the title.
They lost over the weekend against Arizona State. That's a rivalry game, though. So
surprising, too, because Arizona State's been kind of bad this year.
Yeah. They're an okay Pac-12 team. Yeah, Arizona should have won that game in terms of just I think they were like 10-point favorites. They lost, but
yeah. 2 more games for your Illini, Michigan and Purdue. Are you worried about these games? Do these games mean anything? Big Ten tournament mean more? What's
the games mean something in terms of NCAA tournament seeding, and I guess even I don't know how much it affects Big Ten tournament seeding, but. There've been a few people I mentioned thinking that this team isn't going to make the NCAA tournament. It's just like that's just not going to happen. Right. They're a lock.
Well, and it's not like Purdue and Michigan would be bad losses.
Right.
Like Ohio State was the bad loss out of that.
And honestly, they're probably in terms of like teams that they just straight up just teams that they've lost to. Ohio State was far and away the worst loss of the year. You can argue the games against Penn State were bad losses, even though they're kind of like on the bubble. So I take that for what you will. Losing to Missouri by 30 is a bad loss, but Missouri's going to make the tournament. So is it a bad loss for the resume? I don't know. I don't think so. Like, losing by 30 to a team is a bad loss, but does it affect your tournament resume when you go down the road and see, oh, they're going to make the NCAA tournament? Great. At the time when they lost to Missouri by 30, I didn't think Missouri was going to go to the NCAA tournament this year. They've been a big surprise in my eyes. So, Illinois is going to make the tournament, and the only thing that means anything for these next couple games is just tournament seeding. And right now, I'm hoping from anywhere between a 7 and a 10 seed.
Yeah, well, right now, Field of 68, what I keep going off of, 7 seed right now. They got Illinois as a 7 seed. So, you can live with that. You just got to beat a 2 seed. And if it's UCLA, who's a 2 seed, Texas, who's a 2 seed, Illinois is beating them already. So, again, it is possible for this team to get to the Sweet 16, I think.
This conference is just very – you just don't know. These last couple weeks have been that stretch that Purdue has now had to weather the storm, right? I was surprised to see that they lost like they did against IU at home. To see them lose at Northwestern was surprising, but Northwestern's a good home team. Seeing them lose at Maryland, a team that hadn't lost at home all season, not necessarily the biggest surprise to me. I think we both sat here and said that we thought Maryland would win that game. They don't even like they're in terms of like the state of Indiana rivalries and all that shit. Sure, them losing to Indiana twice in a season like that's not great, but they don't really have a bad loss on their resume. Meanwhile, Indiana does have some bad losses on their resume.
Yeah, and I don't think Indiana's going to be a 1 seed unless they really just tear through the Big Ten tournament.
Indiana will probably be a 3 or a 4 seed, maybe a 5 seed even. But I would lean more of a 4 seed. They're a very solid, very, very solid team.
Slotted as a 4 seed right now, again, on the field of 68. We'll get into that a little bit more. I do go to Jack Rosati, who did have a good comment about IU. IU was just better in every single way on Saturday, which was super disappointing and makes me worried about the Boilers in the NCAA tournament. It'll all be about matchups in March. Also, too, I will just say a little bit to the Boilermaker side. They had better shot quality. I was just seeing some things that were posted. It seemed like they were taking better shots. They had better looks at the basket. They just weren't falling. So credit to IU. Not to take anything away from Gary, all right? Not to take anything away from IU. They obviously made all those difficult and tougher shots. But, hey, again, Purdue is always playing quality defense, and it's just about if they're making those buckets or not. So they're a well-run team. I don't know if they're they just never give title contender to me. They just never give national.
Purdue?
Yeah, Purdue.
Yeah.
They just never give the team. I don't know. It just, again, like you said, their best player is a 7'6" big man. That's cool. It's not good. It's not going to win you a title.
It just doesn't necessarily transition to how the NCAA, how the most successful teams in the NCAA tournament in recent years have played. Like that Baylor team that won, they got through the tournament and dominated through their guard play. Kansas last year, guard play. You gotta have your bigs and you gotta have some guys who can score down low. But the best teams that go on to win usually have really good guard play. And so that's the only thing that's given me any kind of hope for Illinois because they do have good guard play. Mm-hmm. Now, can they, in my opinion, they need to stop shooting so many three-point shots because they're like top 5 in the Big Ten in like three-point attempts, but at the bottom of the league in three-point field goal percentage. So it's bad. Like that's one way they beat themselves on Sunday was just jacking up so many outside shots when you got an undersized Ohio State team that you can just go to the rim against and try and get to the foul line and score that way. But they didn't really start doing that until the second half. And, they got it to within 1 point. Then Terrence Shannon gets his 4th foul, and Illinois falls apart. But that's not the reason they lost. The reason they lost is because they played such a shitty first half instead of putting the team away that is not good. When you give bad teams like that hope, sometimes they'll pull it out.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Let's get into a little bit of an ad break here. Got to let you know about DraftKings Sportsbook. Then we're going to wrap up the show real quick with just talking about teams that will make it into the Big Ten tournament. Michigan, one of the final 4 out in the field of 68. Wisconsin, one of the final 4 outs as well. But some teams that we can talk about that are projected to be in the tournament. If you are going to be betting, maybe you haven't downloaded the DraftKings Sportsbook app, we got to let you know how fantastic the DraftKings Sportsbook app is. Easily the best sportsbook app out there. You're going to have the less crashes out of all the sportsbooks, less bugs, glitches, depositing, withdrawing money, super fast compared to all the sportsbooks. I've used every single sportsbook besides Barstool Sportsbook in Illinois, and that was because that Sportsbook didn't allow me to deposit money. I wasn't even allowed to give them money.
You tried.
It was the most fundamental thing. Let me try to give you money. DraftKings, there's no glitches. They're just fantastically smooth. It is an easy process, and we love all the promos that they have. No sweat same game parlays. If you're looking to bet on the Bulls game tonight, we were talking with Will the Goat Gottlieb. He said the Bulls have a chance to cover the spread, which is what we said earlier at 3. He did also mention some good stuff about Vooch. Maybe Vooch under on points tonight could be an angle, and I do like Patrick Williams just over points as well. Him coming off the bench, I think that's going to be a good thing for his ability to score.
2 games in a row, Zach LaVine has been the first bucket scorer.
Ooh.
I don't know if DraftKings has caught back on to this, but it's that.
You can make a real spicy parlay adding a first bucket scorer.
That's been our well.
You're really hoping and praying on that one. But so many great things to take advantage of on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the app today. And new customers, if you bet $5 on any NBA game, you will get $200 in bonus bets instantly using code CHGO. So download the app today. See show notes for more details. Just to give now that parlay just that we give out here. If I'm going to mention that one, we'll go to the same game parlay. Bulls to cover the spread. Can you do first bucket scorer on a same game parlay?
Yeah, you can.
Where is that? Player props?
I think it's all the way to the right, and then there's like first basket props.
First point scorer.
Yeah.
Now, will that be field goal or will
Well,
that
if
be?
it doesn't say first field goal, then it's not first field goal. So you got to be careful with that one.
Those fouls.
And so in the same game parlay, I think you might have the option to also do like first Bulls field goal, first Raptors field goal.
I actually cannot find that. Funny enough, but let's just do the first point scorer in Zach LaVine, and then let's just go to good old Nikola Vucevic under points. We'll just take whatever is the closest to even here. Nikola Vucevic. There you go. Oh, we're not doing over unders for him today.
Is this officially the pick of the week?
Zach LaVine. No, it's not the pick of the week. Joey, this is just DraftKings read.
Okay,
please.
just wondering.
Well, there's no over/under for our boy Vooch, so you can get that though. Zach LaVine in the spread at 900. So there you go. Hey, that's the same game, no game parlay. You bet $10, you win 100 if you want.
Oh man,
sorry,
but
you can't because you need a 3-leg same game parlay. So find something else. Oh, Patrick Williams points.
There you go.
There we go. Patrick Williams 10 points. Plus 170.
Fred VanVleet to hit some threes.
You can get 8 points at minus 120. 15 to 1. All right, that's the bet. Bulls to cover the spread. Zach LaVine first point scorer. Patrick Williams 8+ points. It's a no sweat same game parlay, and if it loses, don't blame me because I didn't think about it.
All
That's just us what we're throwing out there. We'll see if any of it sticks.
Yeah.
You got Indiana and Arkansas tonight. We gave that out on CHGO Bets earlier today as well. Cody's got some great college basketball picks, and if you are a diehard, you are getting his analysis in the Discord as well.
As much as I can, because sometimes I forget. I apologize for that.
We also had some West Coast basketball as well tonight.
Mountain West.
Oh, boy.
Mountain West.
Fresno State.
Taking Fresno State plus 7.5 against New Mexico. Taking the under on San Diego State and Boise State.
Cody, what happened with North Carolina and Virginia over the weekend? I mean, Virginia looked horrible.
Yep.
I like Clemson on the money line tonight. That one's starting in about 10 minutes. So if you want to bet, that's what I did give thought to.
In my
Clemson.
3-leg parlay, I have Virginia winning tonight. So.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So thanks for that.
Well, I remember you giving out Indiana and Michigan State. I didn't remember the third team. I didn't know it was Virginia.
Yeah, you just
shit.
What a great guess.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm taking
it. Wasn't even on purpose.
I think Michigan State wins outright at Nebraska tonight, and then it's just a great spot for Indiana. I feel because Iowa got, like I said on the bet show, was like the most ridiculous comeback that. It's like 1 in a million chances. Yeah. They ain't gonna do that again for another 10 years. Like to be down 10 points with a minute to go. What a collapse by Michigan State. I can't believe an Izzo team did that. Yeah. But that's college basketball for you. So I like IU tonight against a really bad defense for Iowa. Also, if you even want to talk about these two teams, the last time Iowa and Indiana played, Indiana led by 20+ points in that game at one point, and then Iowa made a huge comeback to come back and win. So IU probably hasn't forgot about that, and they were a completely different team at that time too. They had just lost Xavier Johnson. They were trying to get their shit together. Obviously, they've got their shit together, and I like them to cover 5.5 tonight.
All right, and then let's just answer the question that is the title of this podcast real quick, and let's get out of here because we got the Bulls at 6 p.m. Bulls and Raptors pregame coming up with doubles in Toronto. Right now in the South region, you got Iowa out of the Big Ten, the bad defense that Cody just talked about. Number 4 seed, and Iowa's 8 seed in the South region. 8th seed, Iowa in the South region. 4 seed, Indiana in the South region. 6 seed, Northwestern in the South region. 7 seed, Illinois in the South region. In the Midwest region, you have the 8th seed Michigan State Spartans. You have the that's it for the Big Ten in that one. In the West region, you have number 9 Rutgers. You have and then in the East region, you have Purdue, number 1 seed, and then you have Maryland at 7. First 4 out, Wisconsin and Michigan. So right now,
so you didn't say Penn State, did you?
No Penn State.
No Penn State.
Fielding the 68 has 7 Big Ten teams currently in the tournament, and possibly Wisconsin and Michigan as 8 and 9. So let's just ask you here, Cody, if I place the line at over 7.5 Big Ten teams to make the tournament, knowing that Wisconsin and Michigan are just there on the bubble, would you take the over, or would you take the under of 7.5?
I'd take the over. I'd take the over because I think 8 teams at least are getting in. I thought Michigan's team was worse last year than this year, and that team got in. They were a first four in team. Same thing with IU last year. Both those teams didn't deserve to get in last year, and they got in. I don't know about Wisconsin, but I do think Michigan's going to get in somehow, some way. They will find a way to get in. Their win against Wisconsin, they needed it after losing at Wisconsin. And obviously the Big Ten tournament is still a factor. If Michigan or Wisconsin, win a game in the Big Ten tournament, I think that definitely helps their resume. So, yeah, I'll take the over on that. It pisses me off in a way because I just don't think the conference is that good this year. But I'm going off based off what the projections from Field of 68 and also just how the committee loves the Big Ten.
Yeah,
the committee loves the Big Ten. Last year, the last 2 years, I thought the Big Ten was, if not the best conference in college basketball, a top 2 conference in college basketball. This year, it's not that good.
Well, Wisconsin has 10 quad 1 wins. It's ridiculous.
Right.
Not a lot of good. Not a lot of teams that are 4 lines are going to have 10 quad 1 wins. So
right.
We're getting the time.
I think that's the thing though, is that there's a lot of the non-conferences in the non-conference. The Big Ten did very well. So you got some wins there. I know we got to get out of here, so I'll shut up now.
We'll see. It's not you. It's not you. Anyways, we're used to spreading our legs and being here for about an hour and a half. So we're just on a little bit of a tighter schedule here with the Bulls going on. But we want to thank Joey Spathis for producing the show today, and thank you to Stephen Nicholas for
thank
getting
you,
the show
Sean
ready.
and Cody.
Oh, thank you. No, thank Joey. Thank you. And I really do love you, Joey, so much that you came up to me. The first thing you called me was a loser today. So,
it was a joke. They don't get our relationship dynamics.
It was dead serious, and I'm crying.
That's how we joke around.
I'm crying. That's Cody Delmendo. You can follow him on Twitter.
I did not mean it.
At Cody_C8. That's what I am. That's when I'm getting to daddy issues, I'm kidding. That's Cody Delmendo. You can follow him on Twitter at Cody_CHGO. I'm Sean. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W. You can follow me at Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. Try to make a joke there. Didn't land. Anyways, talk to you tomorrow when we're millionaires. Bye.